This is Riding with Ree. It's taken me a really long time to be able to film this video because I really try and come to my channel and give you useful content, and even in the video where I was talking about Woody retiring, I tried really hard to present it with facts and education, but this topic has been incredibly difficult for me, and it's taken me a long time to feel even able to talk about it on camera, but I do want to talk about it, and I want to be able to share new adventures with you and things. We're going to talk about losing a young horse today, and losing Woody, and then talk a little bit about what happens afterwards and what's next for me. So firstly, I'm going to talk about Woody. It feels like only yesterday that I was talking to you about my decision to retire Woody, which feels incredibly cruel somehow. And without going into too much detail, we decided to retire Woody because he went lame on the left fore. We did a bunch of investigations. We gave it another 2 months, and that lameness didn't improve. And, horses don't have to be completely sound in order to go out in the field, and so we really tried to begin the process of seeing if Woody could cope with a little bit of movement. But every day that we did that, not in a field, but every day that we gave that little bit of movement, Woody looked worse. And actually, on the day when we finally made the decision with my vet, I saw him during the lameness assessment and he just looked awful. It was really difficult to see, actually. And it was really obvious that Woody wasn't paddock sound, and that even with an extended period of increased rest, and we were talking, another 6 months in the box, my vet thought that it was really unlikely that he was going to be paddock sound at the end of that. And I felt really, really strongly that I just couldn't ask any more of him. I couldn't ask him to do that for me, especially if at the end of it he wouldn't end up in a field anyway. So I made the decision to have Woody put to sleep, and obviously, we are almost 4 months on, in fact maybe more than that, and I still find it incredibly difficult. It is one of the most difficult decisions I've ever had to make, and if I could have found a way to keep him here and do that in a fair way that was not selfish, then I would have done it. But yeah, it was awful. It is awful. That's where we are. Logistically, I don't want to go into the details. I think you can always ask your vet what happens on the day, but there are so many logistics that people don't think about. You have to book it in with your vet, which can be very, very difficult knowing that it's coming up. You have to book transport, which again can be really, really difficult. You have to speak to your insurance if you're insured. You end up having to obviously end the policy and maybe have other conversations, and I was really, really lucky that my coach actually took on a lot of that for me so I wouldn't have to do it, which I'm eternally grateful for. And if you ever find yourself in the position of having lost a horse like this, I found that finding a new focus was really, really important. In the days afterwards I didn't do anything really, but I found that the gaps I had in my day, which I would have filled up with seeing Woody in the morning or the evening, I started joining a gym. Well, I started swimming actually, which is great, by the way. If you need something where you can't focus on anything else because you're thinking about breathing, swimming is amazing. And then I ended up joining a gym, and I met a PT, and he really helped me. He's helping me now with my confidence and feeling really good in the gym. With everything that happened with Woody last year, I put on about 1 stone, and so I'm working to lose that. I've almost lost 1 stone, and that feels amazing. And sometimes I go to the gym twice a day, and it's just what I need to kind of keep me busy, I guess. I found it really, really helpful, and I would recommend it to anybody who finds himself in this position. I took some time, and there was a period actually where I wasn't even sure that I wanted another horse. I just didn't know if I could do it. I was so, obviously, you know, so devastated. I've sort of moved through a lot of those feelings now, and I have gently begun looking for another horse. It feels very, very different this time, very, very different, and I think maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. The magic is not there in the way that it is when it's your first horse, and I don't think I'll ever meet a horse like Woody, and so I do feel there's a little bit of distance. But I also know that I'm a very loving person, and whatever horse I end up having, I will give it my absolute all, and I will love them even if I tell myself that I won't. So, you know, that is nice. In terms of my future on YouTube, I have been invited to some really wonderful things this summer. It feels a little bit like a summer of exploration and riding horses. And for example, I'm going up to Bishop Burton for the youth championships, and I'll have the opportunity to have a lesson up there and a ride, so I really want to share that with you. Similarly, I'm going to Gatcombe this year. I'm going to go and see Cumbrian heavy horses in the Lake District. Really incredible experiences that I have been offered because of you, and I want to share them on YouTube, but I don't think that we will be doing a weekly video every Friday like we have been before. I think I'm just going to share ad hoc as and when I feel like I have something good to share, and then, you know, if and when I get a new horse, I will of course share that with you. But I'm also acutely aware of the fact that, like, I don't want to cry on camera every day. I have been dreading making this video, but I wanted to, like, I needed to say it so that we can move forward together. But if you do want more of the kind of ins and outs of my day to day, then you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook if you're on those platforms. And if you are on TikTok, then I share an equestrian money diary on there every day as well. This video has not been the kind of educational video I hoped it would, but I just don't have it in me to go into all of the details of the logistics, and I'm really sorry about that. I hope to be back on top form soon. Thank you for all of your wonderful support and your messages. I've been really, really blown away actually by how lovely people have been, and the things that you've said, and the things that you said about Woody. Oh God, sorry. And the way that you have encouraged me to kind of have my own boundaries and stuff has been really, really kind of awesome, and I'm so proud to have built a community of people that are like that, so thank you. I think I ought to end the video before I cry anymore, but yeah, that's where we are. So I'll see you soon, and thank you for being here.